It was submitted to me by a follower who would like to remain anonymous. When I was 14, I had a best friend named Lucy, and we had one of those friendships where we were really close really quickly, which I now know is a red flag and usually a sign of a toxic friendship. But I was too young to know this then. Our favorite thing to do together was hang out at the mall. Our parents would let us go alone as long as we abided to one rule. We had to stay together at all times, and we were always pretty good about that. One night we were having a sleepover at Lucy's house and her Uncle Mike came over for dinner. Uncle Mike was pretty loud and goofy. He showed us like 8 magic tricks that night. I liked him. He was fun. But as I was helping clear dishes after dinner, I overheard Mike and Lucy's mom having a hushed conversation in the kitchen. She was like, "You've had too much to drink. Why don't you just spend the night?" So Mike ended up sleeping over that night too. Right before going to sleep, Lucy's mom came into the bedroom, and she told us to remember to shut the bedroom door before falling asleep. When I asked Lucy why she said that, Lucy just shrugged and said, "I don't know." But we made sure the bedroom door was shut just like she asked. In the middle of the night, I woke up to the feeling of someone tickling my feet.
Story time. The time I did an influencer's nails. So as you all know, I used to take clients back in the day. This happened about a year ago. They DM'd me on Instagram saying they found me on TikTok and would love to get their nails done. And of course I accepted because I was such a huge fan of them. Then she sent me the nail design that she wanted done. And this set had literally bling design on all fingers. It was a lot. And then said she's free the next day, and I said, okay, great. I was so nervous and excited, so I practiced the set so many times, and I literally didn't sleep. So the day comes, and she would literally refuse to say anything to me, like her manager would talk for her, which was pretty odd, but I'm here to do her nails, and the nails came out just the way she wanted, and then she refused to pay me, and said she'll pay me through promotion and never promoted me.
Story time about how I set up my boyfriend to cheat on me so that I could break up with him. Disclaimer, this is not my story time. It was sent to me on Instagram. I'm at the airport, so I'm sorry if it's noisy. My boyfriend and I have been together for way too long. When our relationship first started, I was constantly chasing him. He never wanted a relationship and basically didn't want to commit to me. So basically, he was trying to be an F-boy while he was with me. And of course, I let him do whatever he wanted because I was too afraid to lose him. I didn't want to be that annoying, nagging girlfriend, so I just never said anything to him. Fast forward 5 years. I've had a huge glow up since we started dating. I lost weight, I got super fit at the gym, like I have abs now. I opened up my own nail salon, and I even got myself a car and a house. Well, let's just say that he stayed the same. In fact, he has no ambitions to getting a better job or anything, and it really annoys me. He started talking about getting married, and I was like, hell nah. But I don't know how to tell him that I don't want to be with him anymore. I mean, I love him, but I just don't want to be with him anymore. And because I'm too much of a coward to actually break up with him, I set him up to cheat on me. Found this girl on Instagram, and I told her to DM my boyfriend. He DM'd her back.
Met this client at the dog park. She loved my nail. She asked if she could book with me that next week. I gave her my number and she sent me an inspo pic. She wanted pink acrylic and she wanted to encapsulate red hearts. When I looked at the calendar, I realized that her appointment was on Valentine's Day. I immediately went to the nail supply store and I got every product that I would need for her set. I wanted it to look exactly like the picture. She comes to her appointment at 3 o'clock that day. She arrives in sweatpants and a bonnet. And she lets me know immediately that her date is at 7 o'clock. I already feel a little rushed, but I go ahead and sit down. As I'm pulling out my supplies and showing her what I got, she looks at the practice nails on the wall. She pulls her phone out and texts her boyfriend a picture. I'm guessing she asked him to pick one, because then she shows me some red flames I did and says she wants these instead. I'm taken aback and I don't really know how to handle the situation. I'm gonna have to make the money back that I spent, so I agree. It's about 5 o'clock and I just finished laying the red acrylic when she starts to get a little bit fidgety, and then she starts making some phone calls. I try to mind my business, but she seems kind of agitated. I finish shaping, and then I pull out my gel polish to draw on the flames. Then she kind of rudely asks me if I could hurry up, because she still has to get her lashes done, and she still has to get her makeup done. On top of that, she's not even dressed. This makes me super nervous, especially since I'm hand-drawing the flames. My anxiety gets the best of me, and my hand starts shaking a little bit. I mess up the second flame and she snatches her hand away. She says, "That's enough. You can go ahead and top coat it. I don't have time." I top coat what I have done and she pays me the exact amount. She heads out for her night, but guys, let me tell you about this review she left for me.
My husband I was going to be at the spa all day long. I wanted to see if he was going to bring the neighbor around to cheat on me some more. When I got in the car to leave, I get a message that he sent to the neighbor. Like I said, I had planted an app in his phone, so I was receiving all the messages he was sending and receiving. And of course, he sends her a message saying, "Hey, my wife's going to be at the spa all day. We're free." And she replies saying, "Perfect, I'll come over." My stomach dropped. I drove around for a bit and waited for her to get to my house. Then I see she sends him a message saying she's there. That was my cue to go back to my house to catch him in the act. I race back and enter the house super quietly. I go into the living room and don't see anything, so I assumed they were in our bedroom. I go up to the bedroom and no one's there. And I see they're in the backyard in the pool. I pull out my phone and press record. I run downstairs and I surprise them in the act. They were both naked and my husband jumps out of the pool and wraps himself in a towel. Our neighbor stays in the pool. My husband says, "I was gonna tell you, I swear." It gets worse. Part 3 is up.
To me almost getting murdered on my school trip. So when Penny took out one of the knives, she literally threw it right at me. Somehow it only managed to land 5 inches from me and I was okay. So I took off running out of the hotel room. I immediately went to our director, and literally because her parents fund most of the band stuff, he straight up couldn't care less. I told my mom, who happened to work with the superintendent's wife, so she told her the whole story and gave my mom his phone number. Let's just say they were suspended and the teacher was fired. She swore up and down that her and Tyler were going to get back together. But it's been 3 years later and she's still crazy and he still hates her. And I'm still with him. So I guess the moral of the story is please take it seriously if someone threatens you. Especially if it's a crazy ex. Love you guys. Follow my Insta and DM me if you have your own story that you want to share.
Am I the asshole for not changing my baby's name again after I changed it for my sister once already? I have a 9-year-old daughter and another on the way. I had 2 grandmothers, Annie and Rose. I named my oldest Annabelle. I did not name her after Nana Rose at the time she was born. Nana Rose was still with us. When I found out I was pregnant with a second, I decided to name her after Nana Rose, who passed in 2017. My sister Lucy got pregnant about 5 months before me. She says that she wants to name her baby Rose after Nana Rose. I say our kids can share the name. She says I already have Annabelle, and I could have named her Annabelle Rose or something, but passed on the chance. So I can't also have Rose. I figured this is not the hill to die on. So I say I'll look for something else. I then crack open a baby book, and after a few entries after Rose is Rosalie.
Story time. I babysat a lot of kids in my neighborhood, and there was this one night that I was babysitting a 2-year-old. It was around 10 o'clock at night, so the kid was sleeping, and I was just sitting in the living room. In the living room, there was a big TV, a couch, and then behind me, it was a wall with a giant window. So it was really late at night, I had nothing to do, so I was Snapchatting my friends. If you Snapchat anybody, I'm sure you know that sometimes you Snapchat really fast. You don't even know or look at what you're sending. I was mass snapping all my friends, and then one of them replied 10 minutes later. And he said, "Who's that guy behind you?" And I turned around and no one was there, so I'm like, he's playing a joke on me. But then I get another Snapchat from this friend I had, and she lives all the way across the country. They don't know each other. And she said, "I think there's someone outside." So I was really freaked out because I was alone. There was a giant window behind me. Apparently there was someone outside. I wasn't gonna call the child's parents because I didn't want to freak them out, but I was scared. So then I went around the house, locked all of the doors. Sorry, it's a really long story, like for part 2.